Hello everyone. Welcome on a good Sunday morning here. I'm glad to welcome you to the MisFits initiative. We have an amazing day lined up for all of us today. I'm glad to say that we are finally introducing our first international regional round moving out of India, and we have a lot of participants coming in from the North India and Nepal region in today. So, sharing about Misfits, we are on a mission to find the most impactful change makers in the Southeast Asia region. We started this journey as a virtual pitch event that goes across 15 regions in South Asia to create that platform for social entrepreneurs, innovators, and change makers to showcase, connect, and expand their horizons and really push that work that they've been doing in their communities. While we say this is a pitch event, it's not just another pitch event. What we're trying to do here is build a community that goes beyond supporting and coming together and helping out each other. We take this journey with all of you to a global level wherein we go across Southeast Asia and meet those amazing entrepreneurs out there. We are highly impact focused by the means having some of you out there who are pitching their amazing ideas, doing that amazing work on the ground. That's what we are trying to bring to the table here. And with the amazing partners that we have, we're seeding these innovation ecosystems through the stakeholders that we have with us today. And not just that, the community that eventually gets built because of this initiative ensures the sustainability of the entire aspect. Uh, and while we say the 15 regions in South Asia, which are these? The one that you see on the screen. And I'm glad to say that we're finally heading to Nepal this morning, and we're glad to have some amazing partners and entrepreneurs from the Nepal region with us. So, welcoming all of you. I'd like to thank our core partners, Telugu, which has been supporting us since the beginning of this initiative. And we're glad to also have the support from Startup India in getting that outreach done and providing all the benefits to amazing people like you out there. Uh, to move forward, I think we've like all of this has been possible because of the phenomenal partners that we have on board, our ecosystem partners, our outreach partners who've been giving benefits, doing voicing out what Misfits is out there and getting all of you together. I think there's a huge shout out to everyone who's been supporting us so far. And why are all of you here? Now, these are some of the benefits that our partners have extended to all the participants that who get shortlisted for the Misfits initiative and the winners. So through Telugu, we're getting 300 USD in cloud credit, in Telugu credits for the products, 20% discount for all the participants for Telugu products. Through Thrive 5, we have 500 USD in Google Cloud credits, 100 USD in Crowdera credits, and a huge discount on the HubSpot. Uh, Through Paytm Build for India initiative, we also have a payment gateway, which is coupled with a dedicated account manager support. So for everyone who's trying to get online now, this is an amazing platform for all of you to use. Through Fundwise, Venture Catalyst, Shipping Impact Capital, Thinkubate, and Estrella Global Ventures, they have amazing, they've been scouting for amazing entrepreneurs like you out there. So they're looking out for their next portfolio addition, and that could be one of you out here. Through Message 91, we've got 600 USD in messaging credits and special rates for everyone. Beyond that, through the Global Shapers community, AIC Banasthali and Triple IT Hyderabad, we're bringing in mentoring support for all the top 30 winning teams. And also, we're working towards building mentoring support for everyone who's out there with us. If you're a hardware entrepreneur, Autodesk Fusion 360 is providing a 1 year free startup license for their Fusion 360 product, which is an amazing software to design on cloud and can be done with any machine out there. Eduvance is providing a professional license to their business planning tool. So if you're an early stage entrepreneur or you're just trying to put up a new vertical in your business, this is a very, very helpful product wherein you can really test out and simulate how the business would look like in the real world. And through Kodo, we have our startup friendly credit card that they're providing a huge discount upon, and a ton of benefits that come along with it. We also have more benefits lined up for you, and we'll be sharing that across everyone. All these will be in your inbox sometime this week, and you can take benefits of all of these moving forward. Now, sharing a little bit about what we are doing at Vruksh. We primarily are a think tank which is seeding innovation ecosystems. Now, we came together with a purpose to help entrepreneurs on ground. We realized that there's that need to foster innovation ecosystems and uh, really engage that knowledge sharing mechanism for all the entrepreneurs who are doing phenomenal work on ground, and each and every one of them have their own unique challenges, and that's what we are here to support them for. We have this internal saying that it's not just about ideas but about making ideas happen, and that's exactly what we believe in. We don't like to just make fancy statements but actually go out there and make stuff happen, and we're there for all the entrepreneurs like you to realize your dreams and make it happen in the real world. Now, without much ado, I'd like to invite Shubhangi here, who's our guest today. Shubhangi is one of the co-founders of Pad2Go, which is a social enterprise based out of Nepal, and which has been promoting menstrual health in a holistic way for the past couple of years. She's also recognized as one of the Forbes 30 under 30 social entrepreneurs of Asia, and has been part of Global Shapers community and leading the Global Shapers community in the Kathmandu city. So, Shubhangi, hi Shubhangi.
Hi, Abhijit. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for Vruksh Ecosystem for having me here and also for organizing Misfits. I think this is something very required, especially in 2020, where we're all stuck at home. We have ideas, but we don't know how to start about it. So I am a civil engineer by profession and a social entrepreneur by passion. So I'm one of the co-founders of Pad2Go Nepal. We started in October 2018, and we promote menstrual health management in a holistic way in Nepal. So before I get into what Pad2Go is about, I'd just like to share a short journey about how we started it. So both the co-founders, Jaslina and I, we studied in India for almost 6 to 7 years. And once we finished our bachelor's, we came back to Nepal, and we met up for something else, but we were just discussing, and we both are from various different backgrounds. She's a lawyer, I'm an engineer, but something that really connected us was women empowerment. Because again, in Nepal, being a patriarchal society, we've seen how women's voices are not raised, and even if they do raise their voices, they're always oppressed or it's not heard. And that's something we really wanted to change in Nepal. And while looking into it more, we realized how menstruation or normal biological process itself affected a women's growth, overall growth. It affects menstruating individuals' health and sanitation. It affects our education, our social participation, as well as dignity, which in terms affects our overall empowerment in a whole. And that's where we knew we wanted to make a difference. And starting in India, we realized that there were so many, the technology differences, the services differences is very vast in Nepal and India, even though we're neighboring countries. And we did see these vending machines in Nepal, sanitary napkin vending machines in India, especially in the railway stations and in the bus stands. And that's what we were like, we should get these to Nepal if it's possible. And something very interesting is that in Nepal, we don't even have Coke and chips vending machine till now. So the whole idea of a vending machine itself is very new, to the overall population of Nepal, especially in the rural areas. So bringing the sanitary napkin vending machine itself was kind of a gamble because again, it was a new product, and that was something related to a topic that was so stigmatized and so deeply rooted in our societies and our communities since generations. So when we did bring the product, we knew that we did not want to get into NGO model or a non-profit model because number one, we ourselves were not from that background. We were not from the public health background, and who would even financially, help us out. And number two, being young, being with ideas, having a lot of responsibilities, we thought it was really important for us to be financially sustainable as individuals and as a company, and that's where we started a social enterprise. Again, a lot of people have a misconception about a social enterprise not being a for-profit company, which I'll come back to it later. But yeah, Pat2Go is a for-profit social enterprise. We do make money through our vending machines. So we have a threefold approach in order to tackle menstrual health management in a holistic manner. Number one, we provide sanitary napkin vending machines, and the pads that you do vend out from these machines are cheaper than market rate. So we've collaborated with Whisper and Safety. These are two brands that have pierced the market in Nepal, and through their CSR policy, they provide the pads to us at a much cheaper rate. So we have these machines in schools, in colleges, in hotels, in banks, and also movie halls and within the government sector as well. So right now we have 140 machines all around Nepal, and each machine sustains a minimum of 250 menstruating individuals. Number two is awareness and interactive programs and advocacy. So we also have interactive sessions with people of all genders when we do go and install these machines. Number one, again, coming back to Nepal being a patriarchal society, men make the decision. So it's important to for men to understand what women go through, how their brother, their sisters, their wives, their daughters, their mothers are being affected by a normal biological process. And again, in school, it's really important to involve these young men from a very young age about these issues. And number two, again, something very important to realize is that menstruation itself is not a women's topic. Even transgender men have menstruation. So it again is more important to be more open and inclusive in terms of awareness and advocacy programs. Number three, being a social enterprise, 10% profit from each machine, and all the profits from the pads are given back to the society. So for the year 2018-2019, we are using these money to construct two toilets in Bajra. So now why Bajra? Bajra is in the far western part of Nepal, and Bajra has a lot of issues. Number one being that it has the lowest female literacy rate all over Nepal, and one of the main reasons is that because of lack of toilet facilities. So something as as basic as toilet facility is not there, due to which girls, especially menstruating girls, don't go to school for 4 to 5 days a month, and then they drop out altogether. So that's what we're focusing on as a social enterprise. As a global shaper of Kathmandu Hub, right now I'm focusing on the environmental sector. So I am a part of an initiative called Green Shapers, and we focus on a lot of issues in terms of climate change. So the main thing that we're doing right now is we're also coming up with a module for climate change and environmental sustainability, especially for the public schools, because again, there is a big disparity between what is taught and how it is taught in private and public schools in Nepal. So we do realize that it's really important, from for students at a young age to understand how they can make small changes in their lives to save the environment. And number two, we're also, before the COVID pandemic situation itself, we also had garage sales. And the profit from the garage sale is used for the training modules. And right now, because of the pandemic, we all are stuck at home because we have a lot of lockdowns in Nepal. It's still, not under control. So we've also started a web series called Environmental Leaders, where we involves change makers and environmental leaders in Nepal who are not heard of, who are working so hard but have never come out, and they speak to the public about what they're doing and how we ourselves can make small changes. So thank you, Abhijit.
Awesome. That's some really deep work that you've been doing out there. So I think with the kind of experience that you have, and obviously making it to Forbes 30 under 30 is no small feat out there. So could you also like take us a little bit into how do you see this ecosystem out there, like especially for social entrepreneurs, like with your recent experiences and while you've been doing this work?
Yes, thank you so much, Abhijit. for the question. So when we started in October 2018 itself, social enterprise was a very new topic in Nepal. So a lot of people did ask us, how can we even make money? Because it's how is it even ethical? Because we're serving the rural area, we're serving the people who are marginalized, and we're tackling a social issue. How can we even make money out of it? And that's where we had a lot of debate. A lot of people were skeptical about it, but now since we've made changes, we've seen, like, people have seen what Pact to Go can do, the impact we've made. So hopefully a lot of people have changed their thought process around it. And again, it's really important to realize that, as a young person, especially our generation, we're more focused towards social impact as well. And again, highly focusing on the point that NGOs and nonprofits are not always sustainable and might not be a cup of tea for us, because again, there's a lot of financial burden around it. And being a social enterprise, being a for-profit social enterprise, it's something different, it's something new. And obviously people, especially in the South Asian regions, we are used to, like, something that's been passed down to us. So when we bring out something new in our society, there's always questions, there's always a lot of people are skeptical about it. And something very interesting I also realized along the way was that, especially in South Asia, we've always been supported by donor companies. We've always been supported by funding companies, especially big INGOs and international houses who've been always donating us. So even in Nepal, especially in the rural areas, there are free pads. So what is Pad to Go making? How are we making a difference? It's the same question for everyone around here, like all the social entrepreneurs who are pitching today. Like, what are you making a difference? Because again, our society is so used to having these things for free. So, like, how should they pay us, and how can you make a difference? And that's where we bring in the machines, because these machines create transparency, a sort of transparency even in the rural areas. That's something we've heard of. And talking about back to, I'm so sorry, I kind of like did not answer the question. So going back to the question about the ecosystem in South Asia. Social enterprise is not a new topic, especially all over the world, especially in the Western parts of the world. I mean, we've all heard of the shoe company Toms. So when you buy one Tom's shoe, they donate one shoe to the rural communities. So that's something that, is a social enterprise itself, but then that did not really get picked up because of the way our companies work. So for a social enterprise, especially for Pad to Go, how we work is that whatever profit we do generate is given back to the society through our social impact, or is regenerated into our organization. So we do not have shareholders, and even the co-founders, we are employees of Pad to Go. So we do not have revenues coming back to us. So that's something very different for a social enterprise to work towards, because again, a social enterprise should focus more on the impact rather than revenue generation. Revenue generation is just secondary, it's just to sustain ourselves. And that's what a little different it is from a conventional business. So again, in India, in Nepal, it's a very new topic. People don't realize the importance. But again, there are a lot of organizations, a lot of new approaches towards social enterprises, and especially like what you're doing. Even Professor Muhammad Yunus, we all must have heard of him. He also has a Youth and Youth Fellowship. So where they teach us about, what a social enterprise is. They have 7 principles of social enterprise, and that really helped us for Pad to Go, especially in the beginning phase, because again, there was no one to teach us about what social enterprise is, and it still is the same thing in South Asia, because when people say I'm a social entrepreneur, it doesn't mean you're only focusing on a social issue. It also depends on how your business works and how your financial sustainability works. And that's what is important about a social enterprise. And that's what we need to focus on. But again, it's a very exciting time to be alive, because we have a lot of opportunities, because as an entrepreneur, you see every challenge as an opportunity. So now, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic, I think everyone's like, mind is like running around as to how you can make a difference, how you can change. And something very exciting about a social entrepreneur is that, since it's a startup, since it's just start in a starting phase, you don't have to start big. So even for Pad to Go, we till the last 7 months, for like 1.5 years, we did everything ourselves, from sales and marketing to branding to going and talking to organizations and for business, and even making our own website. So we did save a lot of money. So it all depends on how you make things work for yourself, especially in a society where social enterprise is not taken that well. But again, I would again like to point on the thing that there are a lot of organizations helping out, like Vruksh ecosystem, like Yunus and Youth, and a lot of UN SDGs are coming up with a lot of programs, and especially if you're a college student, there are like health prize programs and other organizations that are coming up with these pitch deck programs where you can pitch your organization and then get some funding or even mentorship help. Because at a stage when you're just starting, or even you've started for a year or two, it's really important to have advisors, especially in a social enterprise, and that's what we're missing as a whole in South Asia. Thank you, Abhijit. I hope I answered your questions.
Yes, sure, Shubhangi. So also, I think with like I'm also part of Global Shapers community. You've been like you're driving it in Nepal. So tell us a little bit into the kind of work that's been happening. Also, I got to know you moved between Nepal, India, Singapore, and you had that kind of experience. So, what were some of those organizations that you came across? What did really hit you in really starting something like this?
Thank you so much, Abhijit. So I did my bachelor's and my high school in India, and then I moved to Nepal. Nepal. I joined the Global Shapers community a year back, and it was one of the best decisions because coming back to Nepal, I did not have a lot of people, especially in this field, especially young people doing something different and doing something exciting and giving back to the society. And that is all a global sheeper community is about. And I got to learn a lot from the community, and I'm still learning a lot. As so Since we did start Pad to Go, again, Pad to Go was supposed to be a passion project for a year or two, and I was supposed to go for my master's. But again, the community in Nepal did really take it well, which we did not expect in the beginning. So that's where we decided that we should make it a full-fledged business itself. So when we did start, there are a lot of organizations. For example, now the first one was Aguasan project that is in Switzerland. So Switzerland has this community for human rights and water and sanitation, where they have these programs every year. So even you guys can search for Aguason or SECOM, SEECON. So it's a Swiss community of organizations from Waterlex to UN to even Helvetas. All these Swiss companies come together, and they have this program every year, especially in March and May, somewhere around that time. And they choose five companies from five organizations from all around the world. You go there and you have a 1 week long training program where they actually taught us about a business model canvas, a revenue model canvas, and how you can make sure that being a young organization, how you can make sure that you are ticking off the human rights agendas, the human rights standards set by the UN, set by other organizations. Because again, that is really important as a social enterprise. It's important to be inclusive, to think of everyone from the people to the economy to the environment. Again, talking about the triple bottom line. So that's where we learned a lot of things. That's actually where it was very eye-opening. That was our first pitch as well. And they also had a winning pitch of 5,000 CHF. So that's where we won 5,000 CHF. We won the pitch. And when we came back, we again reinvested that back to the company. In 19 of September, so there's another organization called Women's Forum for Economy and Society, especially for women. So they have a lot of they have, I think, 6 organizations in different continents. So we were focused towards obviously Asia. So and then in Singapore they had the yearly meeting, and what they do every year is they also have a program called Accelerate Her. So a lot of 10 organizations from all around Asia is chosen, all women-led. Organizations are chosen. We're invited to Singapore, and they also have a 2 to 3 day program in INSEAD business school, where someone from INSEAD themselves, they teach us how you can start a business, or what you're doing wrong, what you can how you can make things right, what should be put in a pitch deck, how can you make sure that your pitch makes sense to a lot of people, especially to someone who does not even know how menstruation can make a difference in Nepal. Because again, these were all people, especially from the western parts of the world, who did not even have an idea that normal biological process could affect you that bad. And there also we won the first prize, and there we got an opportunity to have an online course from INSEAD, and we also got some fundings from Facebook. So again, there are a lot of opportunities like that all around the world. And again, number three was Yunus and Youth, like I mentioned before. So in January, I think next year, I'm so sorry, my dates are getting confused because of COVID-19. So for next year, January 2020, they're going to start their Yunus and Youth Fellowship for 2021. And we were a part of the fellowship. So this is very exciting because, again, something very interesting that we learned was that, a lot of these social enterprise programs are focused in Africa and not in South Asia. And but then Yunus and Youth had a broader aspect where they have people from Asia, from Africa, from Latin America, from Mexico, everywhere. And we had a 6-month long program where we learned a lot more intensely about revenue models and making an impact. Because again, when you talk to investors and when you talk to or the angel investors, they really focus on impact. Now, being a social enterprise, it's really difficult to show impact because you have to show social impact, not only revenue impact, right? How do you tell them that you're making a difference through awareness programs? How do you tell them you're making a difference by putting this machine not only in a monetary aspect, but also in their lives, in their thought process, and in their perspectives as well? So that's what we got to learn through Yunus and Youth. And that was one of the best programs, I feel. And if the entrepreneurs here are interested, you guys should definitely apply to it. And in the end, they also had a pitch competition. So they do. So for the price was 1,000 US dollars, and we won the pitch competition this year. So we're excited to use the money for our new revenue generating product, because again, Pat2Go is not environmentally sustainable, and that's what we're moving towards. So that's the plan, and that these are the organizations that really helped me out.
Awesome. That's I think I've been just making a mental list of the organizations that you said and the journey you took. I think I'll just probably ask a couple of folks here. Like, do you think, like, I think through Shubhangi, what I got to know, and I think even from a personal experience, I think as social entrepreneurs, we primarily lack that. Uh, that I think in certain ways that formal knowledge on how to really run a company, because all of us, like, though there is a lot of stuff already out there on how do you build a startup and things like that, I think for social entrepreneurs it's much more niche on how do you really build out your value proposition. And especially as you said that when you say you're a social enterprise, everyone looks at you like, okay, are you like a non-profit, why are you earning money and stuff like that. uh, so yeah, I think those are very like realistic challenges that I've probably heard on a regular basis here and there. So folks, just to take a quick poll, like you can probably use the icons on your Zoom app. That do you think uh, social entrepreneurs do really need uh, that formal education on how to run an enterprise? You can either type yes and no, or just give a thumbs up or something like that. I think that'll help us to understand what do you guys feel. What are your thoughts? Okay. So yeah, in the meantime that you folks answer, so I think Shubhangi, it's been really great interacting with you. In the interest of time, I'd like to move forward and take to the next step. I think your journey obviously is for a lot of us, it's inspiring on how you really took that that decision to come back and start being like really the change maker that you wanted to be. And thank you for your time today. That, my friends, is Shubhangi. For all of you, an amazing entrepreneur, and wishing you all the best for the next steps moving forward with Pack2Go. And I'm glad you could join us this morning. So, taking the next step here, I'd like to introduce all our regional partners, and I'll invite Anupam, my colleague, to please take the lead in doing that. Hello, Anupam.
I was unable to unmute myself. Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Please let me know if I'm audible.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So yes, good morning, everyone. Pleasant vibes with you all. Thank you, Ms. Shubhangi, for sharing such informative words. Telling quickly about myself, I'm Anupam Pandey. I'm into operations at Brooks Misfits. Moving further, let's try to make this event very interesting and interactive. So we'll start with introducing our regional partners for the event. So we have Global Shapers Kathmandu, Global Shapers New Delhi, Startup Grind, Atharva Initiations, King's College, View Your Choice, and Team NEPO with us as our regional partners for the event. I would request our regional partners if they can come one by one and share about their work. So first we have Global Shapers Kathmandu. Please go ahead and share about your work. Anyone from Global Shapers
Good
Kathmandu?
morning, everyone. Thank you, Anupam. So good morning, everyone. I'm Sachit Manandar, and I'm the current vice curator at the Global Shapers Kathmandu Hub. Subhangi, who just shared her journey with Pad to Go, is also a member of the Global Shapers Kathmandu Hub, and she's been doing amazing work both through her enterprise Pad to Go and with projects under the Global Shapers Kathmandu Hub as well. So introducing Global Shapers would be first. I'll have to introduce Global Shapers as a community. It's a community of young people from age 18 to 27 uh, under the Global Shapers community, which is an initiative of the World Economic Forum. And Global Shapers Kathmandu Hub is specifically a part of the Global Shapers community that's focused on works under Nepal. And we're the only hub in Nepal. India has many hubs under different cities, but in Nepal, Kathmandu Hub is the only one that's operating. And we're around 30 members, 30 active members. We have a few members who turned alumni just a few months back after they reached the age of 30. Our hub was registered as a nonprofit and has been operating since 2012. So Kathmandu Hub is one of the oldest global shapers community out there. Regarding our works, what we've done is we have different projects, and all the members who are part of the Global Shapers Kathmandu Hub are professionally engaged in their own ventures. Some of them are entrepreneurs, some of them have jobs, some of them are running their own businesses as well, and uh, voluntarily involved in global shapers. So we kind of manage our times so that we give some of our times to our own professional engagements while doing contributing back to the community through the global shapers, and misfits is one of them. We are glad to be part of this initiative because we think the change makers and the misfits of the society should be given a platform to contribute to the changes that we are trying to make. And as Subhangi mentioned earlier, there's a lot of challenges, and all of these challenges can also be seen as opportunities. And Global Shapers Kathmandu Hub has been working on converting these opportunities or transferring these opportunities into changes so that the community benefits from it. A few of our initiatives are under the climate and environment is the Green Shapers. Under the equity and inclusion is our project for mental health, and for education and employment, we've been doing mentorship programs for we've been engaged in mentorship programs. We've been doing skilling workshops, and misfits comes under the education and employment initiative as well. And recently with the COVID pandemic, the global shapers also managed to fundraise around 9 lakh rupees, and we supported the funds, we directed the funds in supporting people with daily rations and health supplies. You can find us and follow our work through our social media platforms. We're active on Facebook, we're active on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter as well. And you can search Global Shapers Kathmandu Hub and find us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sajid. So our next regional partner is View Your Choice. Please go ahead and share about your work.
Hello, everyone. It's good to have been involved with MisFits and good to have collaborated with a lot of partners. Thanks, Brooks team, for bringing in us to the partnership. View Your Choice is a platform where you can share positive influencing stories and impact stories. We at View Your Choice believe in empowering and encouraging organizations to write stories and blogs and share their impact stories to our platform, as well as engage in writing in their platform, as well as to other media platforms. We have been collaboratively working with a lot of different organizations. Currently, we've been partnering with a lot of organizations who have been blogging twice a month, as well as at different times. We also do a lot of works outside online world, on the offline world, meaning on the field. We have been part of the Democracy Video Challenge and Photo Challenge by the US Department of State. We have also been part of the CNN Heroes backstage blogging and also campaigning it for Anuradha Koirala and Pushpa Basnet here in Nepal, and done a lot of other development campaigns like NVJs with Sage. That's like bringing in people who have come back for good back in Nepal and doing a lot of amazing work here in Nepal. Whereas we bring in a lot of different young bloggers who blog with us. Some of our bloggers now have been editors and text editors, while also editorial team of different platforms and like media institutions. And it's really great to have all these young people as well as organizations coming in and blogging at our platform. We look forward to bring in more stories of misfits through our platform, viewyourchoice.org, and share more stories from the region and all the 15 countries and different 15 regions and countries. And we thank the Brooks team for bringing in us here. And I also like to share that because most of us are here with the Global Shapers community. I'm also a founding member of Global Shapers Kathmandu Hub, and it's really good to see that a lot of Global Shapers communities at large are part of the Misfits pitch event. All the best wishes to all the ideators, and also wishing you all happy Dasai Tiyar or Dashera and Diwali back in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gaurav. Moving on to the next partner, we have King's Incubator and King's College. So anyone from King's College?
Yeah, hi, namaste everyone. I'm Sushant and I'm representing King's Incubator today. So first of all, I want to congratulate Brooks for starting this regional program. And as King's College, what we stand is we believe in entrepreneurship for economic development of nation, and we try to develop entrepreneurial mindset through progressive education. So I represent King's Incubator. It's the innovation and entrepreneurial development department at King's College, and mentoring a lot of programs that we do, and we also work towards the ecosystem development in Nepal. And it's a pleasure to be connected to Brooks because we regionally also in the category of work that we actually do. So I want to congratulate Brooks, all team members, all partners, and the partners are going to present the idea today. And best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sushant. So the next partner that we have is a startup Grind Jammu. Please go ahead and share about your work.
Hello everybody, I'm Rishita Sharma and I'm the chapter director of Startup Grind. First of all, I'd really like to appreciate Vrukush ecosystem for coming up with an initiative like MisFits, which was really the need of the hour. This is the most efficient way in which we can boost the startup ecosystem. Startup Grind is the world's largest startup community, educating, inspiring, and connecting over 3.5 million entrepreneurs in over 600 chapters across 125 countries. Startup Grind is in partnership with Google for Startup, Amazon Web Services, MailChimp, Oracle, and many more. So Startup Grind Jammu focuses on delivering premier events to entrepreneurs in all the sectors. Startup Grind we do events featuring local founders, innovators, investors who share the lessons learned on the road towards building great companies. We are in local partnership with Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University, Technology Business Incubation Center. Together, we aim at bringing like-minded yet diverse individuals on the same platform to share their thoughts, to connect, to learn, to teach, to build and grow together. We do this through our local events, fireside chats, startup program, through partnerships, and through our social media content. Um, this all the success of Startup Grind Jammu, I'd like to credit it to our great team and the entrepreneurs which help take Startup Grind Jammu to another level. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rishita. So the next partner that we have is Atharva Initiations.
Hello everyone. So first of all, I'd like to thank Brooks Ecosystem for conducting this kind of event. And yes, obviously Gaurav Kandel you just talked to, so he connected Brooks and us so about the whole thing. So let me first start with misfits. So I guess the term misfits fits quite well with us because like we were 16 when we started this company, and like we are just 19 years old right now too. So yeah, we are just a small company based in Kathmandu, Nepal. But yeah, we work in strategy consulting, impact and CSR consulting, entrepreneurship community acceleration, and digital financial inclusion. So to be precise, we are a consulting and implementation agency, and you can call us Robin Hoods too, because like we take money from big corporates and give it to poor communities and accelerate them, empower them however we can. So yeah, we have been functional for past 3.5 years. And in this period of time, then we have reached 36 districts in Nepal. So 10 plus events completed, 20 plus partner companies, and yeah, 3,000 plus, like I guess the number is 4,000 now. So because in past few months, we have been conducting really big events. So yeah, to be precise, our aim is to create community level entrepreneurship and help communities empower as an entrepreneurs. So that's what we have been doing. And we partner with companies and help them give access to these small communities such that they can achieve what they want. So both of the sides. So yeah, now yeah. So about the startups thing and misfits. So yeah, we have been working to promote Nepalese startups for quite a time. So we initially started with a program called Build Your Business, which was something like a Shark Tank event, and we helped 8 startups get funding or something like that. But yeah, we have somewhat shifted from that domain. But seeing Brooks conduct this event, Misfits now, is both nostalgious and also like inspiring for us that we shouldn't have shifted this domain. However, we are like really pleased to support Brooks however we can, and all of the startups who are presenting today and their pitch today. So yeah, so if you ever need anything in this field, then please feel free to talk to us and we'll help you get the best deal you can. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Swachand. Moving ahead, we have Global Shapers Community Delhi Hub as our next partner. And I guess there's no one present from Global Shapers Community New Delhi. So I would like to take it up. So Global Shapers Community, basically they are one of the earliest GS community hubs in India, the New Delhi hub. And yes, being the capital city, it has garnered an interesting profile of shapers and undertaken myriad initiatives. They partner with individual and institutional sector specialists and impact-driven local organizations. Their current thematic focus aligns with the 3 impact areas of their community, which is climate change, equity and inclusion, education and entrepreneurship. So their hub activities are non-political, non-partisan, and focus on larger public good. So that's about Global Shapers Community New Delhi Hub. Moving on to the next partner, we have Team NEPO with us from Nepal. So I would request someone from Team NEPO if they can introduce about their work. Ms. Kavita?
Am I audible?
Yeah, yes.
So first of all, I would like to thank Brooks Foundation for creating such an amazing program which bounds the youth energy, young energy from all around the world. Again, I would like to thank from Team NEPO for having us with you today. Introducing Team NEPO, I would like to start by explaining its full form. That is, Team NEPO is a Native Enthusiastic People's Organization, is a youth-led, non-profit, non-governmental, non-political organization initially founded in 2009 by a small group of school students, now being transformed into a hub for young people motivated to change the community. As of today, Team NEPO has its team spread over 7 provinces and 21 districts of Nepal, and expected to expand its district to 40 districts of Nepal. Mainly, Team NEPO works in a community in mainly 4 focus areas: youth leadership, health, well-being, education for all, and care for environment. Team NEPO envisions a peaceful, thriving world where young people contribute the society as change agents, and it missions to inspire, empower, and connect young leaders to cascade sustainable change in communities. Basically, Team NEPO works in a community, encourages community people in a innovative way. We have our core values as diversity and inclusion, leadership development, transparency, accountability, learning, and improving. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Kavita. So thank you so much to all the partners present here. Glad to have you. Glad to have all of you here. Moving ahead, I would request Ms. Kavita to take it from here. Ms. Kavita.
Well, thank you so much for the floor. They say if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door and create opportunities for others as well. A very warm and pleasant good morning, everyone. Saying this, I would like to start by introducing myself. I'm Kavita Khanal, right now working as a departmental coordinator of organization management at Team NEPO. At first, let me take the privilege to introduce our respected jury members for today's speech event. First, we have Mr. Aaquib Hussain. He's an enthusiastic youth, founding partner of Free Flow Mentor at Startup India, founder of INV. He is also the founder of Master Mentors India. Furthermore, he is national academic partner at Startup India Yatra, founding partner at StartRights Venture. He's an encouraging youth with his voice. He's also a TEDx speaker talking about his experience. He has worked as software application developer and associate system engineer at IBM. He's a AMCAT certified business consultant. I would like to request Mr. Aaquib Hussain to share a few of his words of encouragement for the participants, please. Mr. Aaquib Hussain. I guess. Okay.
Mr. Aaquib, are you there?
Yeah, Anupam. Sorry, I had a audio issue with my system. Yeah.
No problem.
Are we started? Sorry, I didn't get your last part. So.
I request you to share few of your words of encouragement for participants for today's feature event, please.
Okay, it makes a lot of sense to have an event like this. So first of all, congratulations to the Vruksh ecosystem to actually bring what you are bringing to with regards to the social sustainability space for all the participants who are there. And I have seen that there are 9 to 10 participants in various stages, from prototype stage to pilot to growth. The whole idea of entrepreneurship and then very importantly in the space of social and sustainability is about the multiplier and is about the impact that you could create while making very sustained business decisions. So at Free Flow and very personally myself, we have been supporting somewhere around 600 odd startups across the country with the Government of India and the Invest India team. And beyond the event and beyond whoever makes the cut, we'd always be very happy to actually support such initiatives, such startups. Just try making it a point that you are talking about the people impacts that you are wanting to create via your model, because at the end of the day, that is what matters, and that is what is essentially going to create the multiplicity in your business, the scale in your business. And then be very upfront about the facts that there are a lot of areas in your own business development that you are essentially not going to master yourself. So be ready to collaborate, be ready to possibly go ahead and extend an aspect of partnership to players who could fast lane you in a certain way, as well as fundamentally build the message that you're wanting to build. So with that message and in hope of great ideas and great presentations, I'd like the team, Vruksh team, to actually take it ahead and take it forward.
So thank you, sir. Next, we have Mr. Nigam Paudel, the founder of Team NEPO, as a jury for today. Talking about him, Nigam Paudel is the founder and president of the youth-led non-profit organization Team NEPO, is an influential leadership trainer, a devoted philanthropist, and a highly skilled facilitator. At a very young age, he has added various features to his cap and still working diligently to accomplish different benevolent goals. He is presently managing his organization, which is now extended to 28 districts, and visions at generating a remarkable team led by youths. Team NEPO has been organizing various programs focusing in areas, namely youth leadership, health, education, and nature care under his supervision. Owing to his keen interest to train young minds and molding them into a transformational leader, he has established himself as a trainer, facilitator in various workshops, some of which includes leadership and communication skill workshop under the guidance of his mentor, Carl Brown, a workshop on mass communication and public speaking by Ultimate Model Nepal, training on strategic planning in organization, leaders in actions, alongside Pushkar Saha and Saurabh Lohani, personality development training by Simikot Rural Municipality. Furthermore, he has also attended Habitat Young Leader Builder Leadership Academy, trained the trainers program, and later emerged out as one of the adept leadership trainer of HYLB. He has trained more than 5,000 young people, students, teachers, and civil society leaders at different districts around the nation. Presently, he is pursuing his bachelor's degree in Ayurvedic medicine and surgery at Ayurveda Campus Institute of Medicine, Tribhuvan University. Passionate about making a change, he has also worked at Philanthropist University as a course facilitator and at Sagarmatha Management Development Institute as a soft skill trainer. Besides being a proficient facilitator, he is also a firm believer that education is a fundamental human right and have been running a project called Pustak Pariyojana, that is books for prison library, books for prisoners, Under his supervision, he has written books such as The Power of Knowledge, a mini encyclopedia, and Gyan Bardak Koseli Vidyarthi Vivid Gyan, published in 2016 and 2011. He aspires to empower youths through training and development and help them discover their true potential for nature conservation and social transformation. We are very sorry that he is not with us today due to some emergency. Next, we have Miss Aarati Joshi as a jury for today. Miss Aarati Joshi is seasoned professional having experience in finance, administration, human resources, and organization development for over 15 years. Talking about her, having worked in India and Nepal, her strengths are finely honed with a keen eye for numbers, strategic management, organization restructuring, and managing teams. She has her MBA from Western International University in India campus, Phoenix, Arizona, and has completed her BCom from Hans from Delhi University, India. Currently, she is leading the finance and operations unit at Nepal Communitere and has also stepped up to lead the Aaquib Business Incubation Program 2020 cohort, bringing in her experience and skill set of finance and post-investment coaching into incubation and seed investment management. Now I would like to request Ms. Aarati Joshi for some of her few words.
Thank you very much, Kavita, for the introduction. It's a pleasure to be here. To all the participants, irrespective of what the outcome would be today, I would encourage all the participants to recognize and applaud themselves for participating on such a platform, given the difficult and uncertain times. I would also encourage the participants to share their motivational story as to why they started this venture. Good luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Before starting the pitching session, let me tell the participants the ground rules. That is, each participant will get time of 5 minutes to be done with her or his speech. He or she'll have to finish speech in 5 minutes. We'll give a reminder call after 4 minutes. So without doing further delay, I would like to proceed by calling upon our first participant for today, Mr. Sarthak Das, Healthcare Kaios, please. Sarthak Das, Healthcare Kaios, please.
Hello, Kavita, it's Sarthak Das. Project Virasat.
Is there anyone from healthcare
Yes.
kiosk?
So, Project Virasat first. I guess it's Virasat first. Project Virasat. Okay, just a second. Is my screen visible?
Yes. Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Shruti,
hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. I, Shruti Gaggar, and my co-presenter, Agrim Jain, will be presenting Project Virasat today. India's craft sector has been the pioneer in displaying the country's deep tradition, the vast geography, and rich history in a true sense. The sector employs about 7 million people directly and indirectly, with just 2% contribution to the global handicraft market. 30% of these artisans have left their craft, and more than 45% artisans have started working in unorganized sectors due to lack of demand. To solve the problems at its roots, we started Project Virasat. With a vision to revive the languishing craft forms of India, Project Virasat is an umbrella for craft cluster development. Our journey started with the Thatiyar craft form. Establishing Pital as a proof of concept, we have now extended our approach to more craft forms of our country, which are in dire need of intervention. The main reason for the decline in craft forms is because of problems like internal conflicts among artisans, outdated designs, lack of access to market due to exploitation by middlemen, and competition from mass-produced machine-made products. Seeing these problems, we developed a five-step business model which is replicable and sustainable. We start with craft form and community research by conducting comprehensive surveys to assess the problem and know more about the artisans. To solve the internal conflicts, we unify the artisans to give them a sense of ownership. To match with current market trends, we then undertake design and development, followed by establishment of market linkages, and the same model is replicated with other crafts. Virasat currently has 5 craft forms under its ambit: Thatiyar craft from Jandiala Guru, Amritsar; Gaurahari stonework from Uttar Pradesh; Usta art from Bikaner, Rajasthan; Pichwai painting from Nathdwara, Rajasthan; and wooden toys from Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. We have tailor-made solution to each of these crafts depending on the problems. Now talking about Pital, which was our first endeavor, Pital's journey started with the Thateras of Jandiala Guru, a small village in the golden city of Amritsar. The community produces handcrafted copper and brass utensils using the traditional technique of hammering. This craft form is India's first and only craft form to be inscribed on UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage. Despite such international recognition, the craft form was dying because of the similar problems stated above. We started our intervention with unification of Thateras. With the help of the district administration of Amritsar, we unified the Thateras into an SHG named Punjabi Thatera Art Legacy. Seeing the outdated designs and current market trends, we collaborated with professional designers and curated 85 modern designs without losing their traditional touch. With these designs, we entered the market through unique and sustainable avenues. Virasat today has a presence in more than 18 retail outlets, 9 e-commerce websites, and annually we participate in more than 16 exhibitions.
Coming to the impact generated, which is very important for any social enterprise, we have increased the monthly income of artisans by 600% by generating revenue of 1.27 crores and in the process reducing plastic waste by 880 kg because of our sustainable packaging. We have impacted 5 craft forms under the ambit of Project Virasat by directly impacting 245 artisans and in the process creating 140 entrepreneurs. Coming to financials, which is the bloodline of any organization, the total cost of Virasat amounts to 1 crores. Our revenue amounts to 1.7 crores, and out of which the profits are 25 lakh. 60% of the profits that we generate is given back to the artisans, and the remaining 40% is reinvested into the business. This is the financial overview you can see with every detail and every percentage of the total revenue and the cost. Coming to awards and recognition, Project Virasat has received the World Trade Center Award for its innovation and impact. We have been awarded with the renowned Scotch Gold Award, which is the highest civilian honor conferred by an independent organization. Project Virasat has also received a letter of appreciation from UNESCO itself for safeguarding the Thatiyar craft of Jandiala Guru. The future roadmap, which is very important for any organization, is there for Virasat too. We aim to provide a tailor-made solution for our existing 5 craft forms, impacting more than 500 artisans. We plan to incorporate more craft forms under the ambit of Project Virasat. Later, we want to develop Jandiala Guru as a craft tourism hub. We also aim to develop an online platform for generating sustainable demand avenues for our artisans. In the later stage, we plan to set up a unique center of excellence to establish a training model in collaboration
Mr.
with
Agri?
Craft. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you now. You have only 1 minute left.
Thank
Please
you.
have an eye on.
We, as Project Virasat, also wants the artisans to become self-sufficient entrepreneurs, and we want to take steps for the sustainability of the project in the later stage. Coming to our team that professionally manages the project and ensures sustainability, we have a designer, logistics accounting head, marketing head, and a supply chain manager with 3 co-founders. At the last, I would just say that Virasat has become a launchpad for craft revival, and we aim to breathe life into the languishing craft forms of our country that represents ethos, traditions, and cultures of a billion people. Virasat aims to craft lives. Virasat aims to revive legacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Project Virasat. The true entrepreneur is a doer, not a dreamer, they say. Now, I would like to ask jury members, if you have any questions, you can proceed with that.
I have a question. Given the COVID situation, what is your marketing strategy and who is your primary market?
So I would like to take up the question, ma'am. Thanks for the question. So during the COVID period, it was difficult for all of us, but we planned towards a more online approach where we are currently generating demand through our website, through our PR pages, and we are trying to make use of efficient digital marketing. So during the COVID period, all the sales platforms that are there, they are online, and we plan to use the various e-commerce platforms, our website, as well as various digital marketing for generating sales that is there.
Hi, Agrim. Hi, Shruti. This is Aaquib. Great presentation, boss. Like the way you have constructed the whole model. Now, one very quick question on the amount of turnaround that you have experienced till now with regards to closing on one artisan community at a time. So what is the time that you make them aware of what you're bringing to their table to the time that they that you actually put it across via the process innovation that you're bringing to their execution? So what is the average turnaround time with every community that you have been able to work with?
Okay, so we started our intervention with the 30R craft in 2018. And in 2000, we planned and we have made it a sustainable sort of intervention where a primary team is managing. And as for the other craft forms that are there, we plan to have a 1 and 1.5 timeline for every craft form that we have. And by establishing a professional team that can carry on the project after us so that we can continue searching for new craft forms.
And like adding on to Agrim's point, like Petal was our proof of concept. So it took us like around two years to, make Petal sustainable, that, it has now been able to carry on itself. But with other craft forms, since we have experience in the craft sector now, so we plan to make our intervention much more sustainable.
And just as a follow-up, what is the number of steps that you take to actually commercialize their craft and get them that increase of 600% that we are talking about on revenue? What is the process interventions?
So like first of all, we plan to intervene the supply. When we intervene the supply, we plan to give them better tools and equipment, which results in increase in efficiency, provide them with better electricity with some sort of a government collaborations and various other things and better efficient machine. And then we plan to intervene in the demand side. And at the demand side, we plan to use our PR pages, website and efficient digital marketing in commercializing their products. And our target is basically the niche market because of the type of products that are there.
So has there been, sorry, Agrim, has there been an attempt from your part to actually, let's say, collaborate with the state nodal possibilities like the Jharcraft initiative in Jharkhand or various similar categorical collaborations that are possible, because those activities or those entities are backed by the government's initiative to actually promote tribal and cultural heritage and Adivasi based art that's getting lost due to cultural vacuums that are created. So have you made a sustained effort in collaborating with such entities, or is it solo till now?
Yeah, so thanks for the question. So for the 30R craft, right, we have collaborated with the district administration of Amritsar and as well as UNESCO, since it's a UNESCO listed craft form. For the other crafts, right, we are in the procedure. We are in talks with various handicraft development commissioners. For example, as you mentioned in the wooden toys of Uttar Pradesh and Gaurari stonework of Uttar Pradesh, we are in touch with various government agencies and the government officers, and we are in the process of developing a plan in collaboration with them. It's in the process, and we plan to collaborate with these state agencies for more, I would say, sustained revival.
And is there a fundraise requirement for the entity to actually sustain, or is it a cash positive scenario for now?
So as of now, I wouldn't say that there isn't. Like, we are trying to collaborate with agencies and the government agencies for generating funds. But yes, through the COVID period and our online efficient marketing, we have been able to generate a lot of sales that are there. So one addition point, when we talk about government collaborations, right, we have also collaborated with Spurti, a vertical of Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, for a craft cluster development in the Kutch region. So that is one point that we are exploring as of now. Like, we have been working since 3 months, and we plan to have a considerable impact through the Spurti scheme by collaborating with MSME.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Agrim. Thank you, Shruti, for the answers.
Thanks a lot.
Again, I would like to thank Project Virasat for such an amazing presentation. Next, we have another participants for today, Miss Ina Robinson for the Project ASPA. Please. Miss Ina Robinson, Project
Yes,
ASPA.
I'm here. I'll be sharing my screen shortly.
Okay.
Can we start?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. A very good morning, one and all. I'm Aarati and this is Ina. We are here to present Project ASPA. So Ina and I encountered Miss Sunita, a resident from Delhi's largest slum, Lal Bagh, who wakes up to fights over the most basic necessity, water. Clean drinking water is a battle that she fights but doesn't win every day. Sadly, she's just one of the 785 million people worldwide who still lack access to clean drinking water. Realizing the dire need, we were motivated to start Project ASPA. Project ASPA provides clean drinking water at a mere price of rupees 4 to 6 for 20 liters by setting up community filtration plants. So far, we have set up 13 plants impacting more than 35,000 people. 18% of Delhi lacks access to clean drinking water, which adds up to 31 lakh people. Each ASPA plant covers 450 families. Hence, ASPA has the potential to set up 1,388 plants in Delhi alone. Our market is massive, as the need for clean drinking water will not become extinct in India in the near future.
ASPA is a dynamic water model. There are 4 steps to it. We start with identifying areas by conducting comprehensive need assessment surveys. A contaminant-specific technology for filtration is identified after testing the raw water. Relevant government permissions are obtained for deploying the ASPA plant. ASPA does not stop just with water. We conduct IEC marketing and community mobilization activities to build community trust, spread awareness, and ensure customer retention.
The next step is to select 2 previously unemployed women who manage operations and plant finances. They receive a monthly salary of rupees 3,500 and a surplus of 20% on plant profit. Each ASPA plant dispenses 1,000 liters every hour, serving 550 families daily. We launched the ASPA app, which is handled by our women entrepreneurs to record revenues, expenses, and track growth. Each ASPA card, with every swipe, rupees 4 is deducted and 20 liters of water is dispensed. Additionally, each plant is insured against damages through a comprehensive annual maintenance contract.
Here's what sets Project ASPA apart. Our technologies are environmentally sustainable, such as biosorption and coagulation flocculation that reduces wastewater generation to less than 1%, which as well is directed to the nearby toilet complexes or is recharged. ASPA has a strong quality cost ratio. We have an edge on pricing, which compared to private suppliers. We touch verticals such as education, women empowerment, health and sanitation, making ASPA the highest impact creator among water providers. ASPA's innovative rent-based model ensures financial sustainability as we do not incur any initial capital expenditure. Monthly rent for the technology is paid from plant revenues after a cushion period of 3 months.
With 350 customers every day, we earn a revenue of 33,600. After paying salaries and deducting costs for maintenance and electricity, we are left with a profit of rupees 18,600 with a 55% profit margin.
Starting with just 2 plants in 2018, ASBA has now grown to 13 plants across 3 states in India, creating 26 women entrepreneurs, reducing expenditure on health and water by 5.5 crores, and providing clean drinking water to over 35,000 people every single day. In the near future, ASBA shall set up a community solar-powered desalination plant in Chennai, India's most water-stressed city, impacting 15,600 plus lives every day. We wish to expand the technology to other Indian coastal regions as well. ASBA is currently involved in research and development of newer and innovative technologies that are environmentally sustainable. ASBA envisions cluster-based pan-India expansion, and we have head-started this mission with 2 clusters in India in the states of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. To ensure last-mile connectivity, ASBA shall implement water on wheels, a unique delivery mechanism for providing clean water at the doorsteps
Miss Ina
of remote
Robinson.
corners.
Yeah, 1 minute left. With 2 prestigious
No,
international
you are.
awards.
No, it's been 5 minutes.
Okay.
Your time is up. Okay.
So we have been lauded by Prime Minister. We have received letter of appreciation. This is our team, and sustaining this momentum, we envision to set up 30 plants by 2021, impacting 82,000 lives. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
so much. Thank you for your presentation. Dear jury members, do you have any question? Please.
Hi, this is such a wonderful concept. My question is around how do you identify the areas that where you would set up this?
Okay, thank you for your question, ma'am. So the areas we identify have certain criteria that they have to meet. Firstly, the population, because we deploy plants which have minimum of 500 LPH, 1000 LPH plants, which makes it a community water model. And secondly, we also ensure that the TDS is unfit for drinking and there is enough raw water source. And there are relevant influential people or government permissions that are easily available for us. And thirdly, the accessibility for delivery mechanisms and how feasible it is for the area. And also with regards to how can we have a hub and spoke model where we identify an area and we are able to touch other areas with a single plant deployed in one area. So these are few factors that we consider.
Okay, I have one more question. So what would be the cost of setting up one plant, this filtration plant?
Yeah, go ahead, Ina.
Thank you so much for your question, ma'am. So the cost will amount to 6,40,000. So this includes the annual maintenance for the first year, and it also includes the vending machine that using which the digital card will be used for that to dispense water. It also includes the cost of the chiller, and yeah, that's it. And we also have added this technology that cloud computing, which helps us to know the revenue of every single day. It lets us know how many recharges are made every day. So this is how we have been able to ensure operational sustainability in every plant.
Thank you.
Mr. Aaquib Hussain, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I was just unmuted by your team. So yeah, hi Ina, hi team, hi team. Basically, great idea. Project ASBA probably is required across the country. So you need to be fast, quick, and efficient. And in that, I have a question that when you are doing these community filtration plants, the contamination across various geographies and various demographies are very different. So who takes care of the changing technology requirements in the filtration plant? Point number one. And if it's outsourced, then how do you manage the cost to be within a particular threshold, as you answered the last question about the cost being 6.5 lakhs? Is the technology in-house? Question number one. And how does it diversify into 2 or 3 different kinds of contaminations? Because we have different kinds of water-based issues across the country. So what's the plan for that?
Okay, thank you for your question, sir. So with regards to your first question as to is it an in-house technology? No, it is not. We collaborate with different technology partners, and our technologies have always been contaminant-based and tailor-made to suit the contaminants of the water. So we have RO where TDS is extremely high, and we have technologies like coagulation, flocculation. We have technologies like nanofiltration. In fact, our project ASBA was the first one to set up a community nanofiltration plant in the Indian country. And we have a wide range of technologies, like we also have UV filtration, solar powered desalination, etc. So all of this is to suit the availability of raw water, and also the contaminants in the water have to adapt to the technology. So these are two things that we consider. And with regards to cost, we have a rent-based model, as we had said. We do not incur any initial capital expenditure. This helps us to expand exponentially with a monthly rent that is paid to the technology partner after a cushion period of 3 to 4 months, which we take for the plant to sustain and get a permanent customer base, after which we pay a monthly rent to the technology providers for a specific period of time across 20 months or 22 months, after which the ownership is transferred to us. So this is how we ensure that, considering that water filtration plants is an extremely capital intensive option, this is how we pan out. We do not incur any initial capital expenditure. We make sure that our plant revenues are able to pay it.
And that is where, Aarati, the second question kind of becomes very important, is the fact that how are you being able to cap up the cost to bare maximum of 6.5 lakhs, which is how you put it into your financials, and not exceed that, because it's a leasing and contractual model. So how does that work out?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you take the price of water that we've fixed, apart from the products that other startups have, where you can actually you don't have a bar. Like the more customers you get, the more price your products are, you get more customer base. But with ASBA, the main USP is the price of water. So because of which we do have a problem with revenues. So for that, we use a concept of a new vertical called water saving aerators. So we are in collaboration with a startup called Earth Focus, because we're always open to collaborations. So these water saving aerators, we are the official marketing partners, project as well as the official marketing partners. We contact, we also take B2B customers such as corporates, and then all of these bigger organizations who are in dire need of saving water in a whole organization structure as such, which helps us save around 95% of water on an everyday basis. And we also collaborate with other individual customers across. We do extensive marketing for that, and we get a 30% commission for the same. So this helps us with an added revenue, which helps us to sustain financially, and of course the rent-based model. And we're also inclined towards grants and funding.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The secret of getting ahead is getting started. That's how entrepreneurs work. Saying this, I would like to request our next participants for today. The next startup entrepreneur, Ms. Livelin Disa, for the project Bionic Hope. Please.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yeah, you can proceed.
Yes. So this is Levlin here from RoboBionics. We also known as Bionic Hope Private Limited. And I'm here to talk to you today about Grippy, an affordable bionic hand for those who are missing one. So coming to the problem that was present till date is that a lot of amputees who lose their hands, they adjust themselves to their new lifestyle by using some form or the other. But people look at them in a weird way, due to which social stigma goes on increasing. Now, when such amputees try to get an option to fit themselves with a limb, they are faced with either a cosmetic and a non-functional device, which costs around 15 to 20,000 rupees at one end, or a basic myoelectric hand, which costs at least 2 lakhs on the other end. There's nothing in between. To add to this list of problems, the professionals who fit these devices number only 2,500 to the 45 lakh hand and leg amputees present in India. Adding on to this, most of the devices are imported, due to which the care required to service these devices is inadequate, as it takes a long time. So talking about the solution, this is Grippy. As you can see, it's very similar to traditional myoelectric hand, but it has to an extent fine finger motion articulation, due to which it can grip onto a various set of objects. It can handle increasing weights, etc. So Grippy is designed keeping in mind the needs of the user, the durability needed, as well as the Indian conditions. Now, being a medical device, this needs certain approvals and all to go ahead. So we have 3 patents filed. It has been tested with 15 users during development, and we have already run 3 months of beta trials. So as I mentioned, compliance testing is ongoing. CDSCO, that's the regulator, we have received an NOC from them, and we will be doing a clinical validation with a hospital in Pune. So because of lightweight, because of sense of touch, being a perfect alternative to EMG and improving the quality of life, Grippy has a very impactful approach, not only on the amputees, but as well as on the people who are fitting these devices. So this is a few kind words from the people who have interacted with Grippy. In the world, we have 5 million people who are in need of this technology. In India, it's 1.6 million amputees, out of which only 4% have access to prosthetics. So we are focusing first on the 0.3 million urban amputees, as well as the new road and rail accident victims that get added to the list every year.
Bye, Nico.
Yes.
Now you have only 1 minute left.
Okay. These are a list of our achievements. We are backed by a team of 3 co-founders with a diverse set of experience. And these are our advisors, who are 2 doctors and 1 P&O expert who back us at all given point of time. So as our visionary says, Mr. Hugh Her, I don't see disability or broken people, I see broken technology. And we at RoboBionics are here to fix this broken technology. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such an amazing presentation. Now I would like to request jury members, if you have any queries or questions, please ask.
Hi, Levin.
Hello.
Yeah, it's a wonderful presentation. I'm quite curious to know, like, how did you come up with this idea? Like, why did you want to start this?
Okay, so I am a pass out from IIT Patna, and when I joined there for my master's course, one of my batchmates was missing a hand. So I was very curious to know that why he is not using a prosthetic device. And on further inquiry, I found out that it's either not affordable or the ones which are there in the market are just non-functional. So because of this and my training in mechatronics engineering, I decided to venture out into this space.
Another question is, how much would this cost you? How much would it cost?
Yeah, you would like to know the manufacturing cost or the selling price?
No, the manufacturing cost. How much would it cost to make such a hand?
It cost me, our company, 20 to 25,000 to make a single hand. And we are able to get it out to the end user at close to 85 to 90,000 per device.
Hi, Levin. Fantastic idea.
Thank you, Aaquib.
Fantastic approach and a very relatable reason for starting something like this, because we have all had friends and we have all had people in our ecosystem who we have believed need a service like this.
Yes.
There are two very distinctly different questions that I want to ask you. One is a bit of a social question. The other is a technical question. I'd ask the technical one first because you are from mechatronics and you understand all of this. Now, are we planning to inculcate our responses, basically physiological responses, into the prosthetic arm using the innovations that have happened in 3D printing and 3D design already? Or are we generating it more as a modular assembly of parts? So what are we looking at?
Thank you for such a question, Aaquib.
Sorry that I asked a completely technical question first, but
No, that's
it's share out of curiosity. Yeah.
So, Aaquib, thank you for asking this question, first of all. So, our core, what you say, manufacturing process is 3D printing with a little post-processing. We do the entire thing in-house, due to which we can keep our costs as low as possible. And due to using 3D printing and other additive manufacturing techniques, we can, anytime modify the device on the go and, quickly develop it for a new need and deploy it into the market once again. So I think that that should answer your question.
Levin, just to add on to the question to just make it a bit clearer, because I would love to support the initiative as well as the project in my humble capacity, both financially and technically. But I need to understand one more thing, which is that when we are talking of prosthetic arms, we are also talking about the response, tissue responses and the muscular and DNA-based responses to a particular impulse from the central neural system. Now, the prosthetic alternatives that existed were very artificial in their approach, whereas whereas the ones that we are generating in the day in the Western world today are much integrated with our own central nervous system.
Yes.
So are we looking at prosthetics integrated with tissue reengineering, or is it initially only an arm and then we want to evolve towards that?
Okay. So, Aaquib, what we are doing right now is, first of all, we have removed the traditional myoelectric sensors. We have developed our own set of sensors which work more on pressure. So it's easier to train a person when they can see what they want to move, rather than trying to tell a person to imagine fingers he doesn't have and move each finger. Number one. So it's works similar to myoelectric. So it's non-invasive. There's a patch which fits onto the hand of a user, and the signals are received from there. Due to a technology which we have incorporated, which is known as sense of touch, is a kind of biofeedback mechanism, due to which a user can feel whether he's holding a hard or a soft object. He can actually differentiate with what kind of grip he's holding it, whether it's a strong or a weak grip. And that is the part which we have worked on extensively to incorporate into this device, because we found that none of the devices in the market have such kind of a feedback mechanism, due to which a lot of people reject these devices. So yes, eventually we may look at possible integration with the central nervous system. But right now, we want to keep costs low and we want to keep deployments easy. So integration with the nervous system would go maybe in an invasive sense. That's why we have decided not to go that way right now.
Okay, and the sense of touch technology that you're talking about, is it something that you're filing, and then the sensors corresponding to that? Are you intending to file a patent against that, or have you already filed?
I have a patent already for that.
Sure, perfect. I'd love to be connected to you offline too, so that we could possibly see what we can do with regards. And then, is there a fund requirement for?
Yes, we are looking for fundraising. So I think we'll take that offline.
Sure, absolutely. And just the social question which I wanted to ask, or wanted to give you the. How much of the social taboo of having a prosthetic arm is being taken away by your innovation, the Bionic Hope? And have you given that a feasibility study? Because as and when you do actually have an artificial limb, it is a social taboo of a certain kind, even if it's a facilitation. So are you thinking of on the lines of actually making it I shouldn't call it cool, but acceptable is possibly the word, or natural. Is there a feasibility study on making it as natural as possible?
Yes, we have done a feasibility study using the data which we have. So we initially checked it out with around 50 users across India when developing. So to add to it, the feedback which we got is that the existing devices use what is known as silicone gloves to give it a natural feel. But these gloves to an extent impair the functioning of the device. So it impairs the functionality as a whole. And secondly, these gloves get dirty very easily. They tear off also very easily. So our approach was to bring in a kind of a glove which looks like a hand, but at the same time is easily replaceable, washable by the user. So that's something which we have incorporated so that the user feels a bit more comfortable with using his device on a day-to-day basis.
Perfect. On the explanation bit level, pleasure to have heard your presentation. Thanks,
Aaquib.
I have a question around the product. What is the lifetime of the product?
We've tested it and it runs without any issues for close to 3 years. What we plan on doing in after just launching into the market is having a retainership program wherein we can interact with our customers, because the only factor, the only part that gets damaged is the motor. So we can have some sort of a program wherein our customer can have similar to a AMC, and we can take care of them that faulty part, and they can continue using the device even further.
All right, thank you so much.
I would like to request jury members to limit their questions for 3 to 4 minutes only. Never start a business just to make money, start a business to make a difference. That's how Bionic Hope had given hope to the society, I guess. Thank you so much. Now we have our another participants for today. I would like to call upon Team Jerry's Inc. project. Please, Mr. Rakesh.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm sharing the screen. I hope now it is online. Yeah. So I start with this, the image we see, it is of the portable model of Jalod Bust. Jalod Bust is trying to bring in dignity through technology. Here we are talking of Jalod Bau. Jalod Bau was a demon in Kashmir, living in the mud, and he was killing the people. The Jalod Bau is still living in the septic tanks and the leach pits and the manholes when we see people dying. And there is a need for a buster to bust this Jalod Bau. With it, I will play a small video. Whenever we flush a toilet, the material goes into the septic tank and or the leach pit. A tanker comes, but it leaves behind the sludge. It takes only the liquid. And only the Jalod Bust can remove this sludge. And thereafter, it will enter into the narrow lanes and do all the tasks without anybody having to touch. Our USP is the side, smell, and splash-free fecal sludge handling, aimed at eradicating the manual scavenging. This will happen through creation of livelihoods, by mechanization of the fecal sludge handling, by decentralization so that entrepreneurship is created in the sector. This will make equality in the society, and it will give COVID-19 protection to the sanitation workers because they have not to interact with it. The important thing is in this sanitation sector, especially the fecal sludge handling system, 1858 was the landmark year when the sewer system was introduced. It was not till early 90s that the STP got set up, and the septic tank was standardized in 1940. In 1966, this vacuum tanker was patented, and over last more than 50 years, no improvement has come in this sector. And in 2018, when we filed for the patent for Jalodbust, this came after a gap of 50 years when we are talking of a change in the sector. When we look at what this Jalodbust is looking at, we are talking of 4.5 billion people across the globe, which is 66% of the population. They are using the on-site sanitation, that means the septic tank and the leach pit. In this, 2 million workers are emptying these leach pits every 1 or 2 years. And with the Jalodbust, $6 billion are there to be earned. With trying to reach everybody, 0.5 million Jalodbust systems are needed. We are targeting the institutional buyers, municipalities, ULBs, rural sanitation. And this is going to be a very important component of the non-sewer sanitation, where the sanitation is going without the sewer lines now. The sanitation entrepreneur is our very important target. For this individual, it will generate an income of 22.6 thousand rupees per month, while giving him safety, dignity. Our revenue sources are going to be manufacturer licensing, direct sales, and development.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Rakesh. You have only 1 minute left.
Okay, yeah. So we could see the manifold rise in the last 5 years. The demand for septic tank cleaning has risen 3 times. This was our field implementation. After design, we tried it out in the field. We have been recognized by ASME Aisha with the award, Best Category Award in Upliftment of Sanitation Lives. My team, myself, Rakesh, Parth is with me now, Erika and Ranjan. We have 3 crucial targets. One is the product design for manufacturing, mass production, the capacity building to introduce this to the sanitation entrepreneur, and also to
Mr. Rakesh, your time is up.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much for such an amazing presentation. Now I would like to request jury members for questions and answers round, please. Ms. Aarati and Ms. Dear jury members.
Hi, Rakesh. This is Aaquib. Just wanted to understand the working model readiness that you have as of now. Do we have actual working model available? And if yes, how are we marketing it as of now?
The working model is available because we tried it over more than 1 year for stabilizing its functionality. But saleable model is not ready because it has to be aesthetically good, and it has to be manufactured through the manufacturing process. For the field trials, we did the workshop model. So today we don't have a saleable model, although the functional model, the proof of concept, and the piloting is already done.
Okay, and is there a roadmap available for how you intend to actually complete the aesthetic manufacturing of the device, as well as when do you plan to have a milestone for that, if that's already there?
Yeah, this time Catapult Designs from US has been so gracious. They have sponsored the designing, and we are waiting for some grant somewhere. Unfortunately, till date, we have not received any support from any government agency or any private agency. We got only 1 year fellowship from youngsters. I will have to learn how to do that. So this is simply waiting for some fund infusion so that we are able to do the product designing for manufacture. So it is
And are our designs ready? Are they going to be in-house designs, or are we looking at a collaboration on the final aesthetics?
Yeah, we already got some designs, but it is limited to the design, as I told you, by Catapult Design USA.
Yeah.
What you see on the screen, they have provided it, but then we have to convert it into the physical model. That means making the molds and setting it up together. That needs some money. We're waiting for some grants. We're making so many applications, trying to reach out to people, but it's waiting.
So we'd work on that, Rakesh. Let's connect offline for that, and I might have an opening on that front. So we'll work on that offline. So thank you for your presentation on this. Aarati, if you have any questions.
Yes. Hi, Rakesh. My question is, who are you looking as your paid client? Is it a B2B model or is it a B2C model?
Yeah, it is actually, it has two versions. One is the institutional buyer, that means the municipality and all. They will be able to make the sanitation sort of independent of the man. So it will be a great value addition to what the work the municipality is doing. In the decentralized scenario, an entrepreneur, we have already arranged the fund sequence. There is government funding available at very low rate of interest. There are other microfinancing supporters available. That person, once he buys this machine, we will handhold him, and it will generate a net income of 22,000 rupees per month for him, while he's working independently on this one-man operated machine. So it has got both the institutional buying for the municipalities and ULBs, for the individual sanitation entrepreneur to work independently and generate income out of it.
Thank you so much.
Team, we are done with the questions. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, jury members and Mr. Rakesh Kasba, for such an amazing presentation. Now we have our another participant, Mr. Nakul Sardana, for the project Azairo. Mr. Nakul Sardana, please proceed with your presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable jury members. Can you please, yeah, it's working. I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. The project is primarily, I'll just clarify a couple of things. The company name is Azairo Infratech, and our product name is ESD++. And just to give you a quick background, like I'll take within the given limits of the time only. Azairo Infratech is a well-stabilized design and engineering company space of waste management and sustainability. We have recently come up with this product name ESD++. So talk about ESD, ESD stands for Environment, Social and Corporate Governance. ESD currently, since last, primarily, it has a term which is being widely used since last 16 years. It started in 2004, and it's one of the most important parameter in current investment time, which is being looked after by most of the foreign investors who are investing into it. So it is primarily in a shape of a scorecard. Like it evaluates the sustainability of any company, given that in these primarily three categories, like environment, social, and corporate governance. So why ESG? Since 2018, if you just look at the numbers in the sense of like 170 ESG related regulatory measures has been proposed globally. In the month of September, government New Zealand has made it mandatory for all the companies to report their sustainability reporting. In EU, it is more or less mandatory for all the corporates, including investors. Even in India, SEBI has made it mandatory to publish your business responsibility report for the first 1,000 companies. So what is the problem statement we are solving? ESG data is well fragmented. It is qualitative in nature. The idea is to, first of all, quantify it to make it more of objective than of subjective. It's tricky, time consuming, and it's tough to gather. There is no such smart integration available. I'm not saying all such other product platforms are not available, but we are the first Indian company who is doing it. That too specifically being operating from India. And so there is definitely a need of autonomous, intuitive, and simple manner. Just to more clarify on the ESG front, this is not something like a physical product. So ESG, it defines the health of an ecosystem. If I say a company is an ecosystem, it defines the health of this. As in whole of the, if your mileage could be a profitability, you're doing great in sense of profitability, but how your heart is functioning, how your lungs are functioning, whether you would be able to run for next 20 years down the line of 40 years or not. Currently, it looks that you are making something which is very viable in the sense of profit, but will that be there for the next 20 to 40 years? So we evaluate the company in sense of every parameter. It could be environmental protection, environmental resource management, workforce diversity, happiness index of the employees, and so on. And even on the board side, how the leadership development is happening, the kind of decision making they are having. So everything minus profitability, which affects profitability. So ESG is totally around that. So the solution which we are proposing is ESG++. ESG is primarily a scorecard which is widely being used by the investor. The first plus represents the compliance around the EHS, which has been totally qualitative and subjective in nature. We are just objectifying them. We are putting the numbers against different categories. The last plus represents the reports and the comprehensive solution framework.
Mr. Nakul, now you have only 1 minute left.
Sure. So it primarily talks about the solution framework, which will take you a journey from being carbon positive to carbon negative, at the same time improvement of your health in the terms of your workforce happiness, board level decisions. So this is how our product looks like. It gives a ESG scorecard, EHS CSR report, insight identify gaps. Market validation, before ESG++, all data, as I mentioned, was fragmented, complex, non-intuitive. We have tried to solve this complex problem of unclear and dispersed norms and cumbersome. Definitely a big market. Last year, $50 trillion money has been complied through ESG, and this year it could be beyond that. The market size currently of ESG market is $105 billion worldwide, and in India it is $2.1 billion. Our segment addressable market is $1.6 billion. This is what our business model looks like. We have been targeting. So if we go well, we would be able to cross $100 million in just next 2 years. This is our go-to-market strategy. We are thinking to, rather than getting into the sales directly, we are developing our channel partner network, which even established the 17th principle of sustainability development goal, which is partnership. These are the competitor analysis. There are companies, but not Indian, or even an Indian company.
Mr. Nakul, your time is up.
Yeah.
Thank you. I request respected jury members to have questions.
Hi Nakul, this is Aaquib. Are we live already, or is the custom dashboard still under development?
So the MVP has been made. We have soft launched the product, and we are giving demos. We are booking the subscription. We have booked 2 subscription from different industries. And on the corporate side, for the sales side institution, it's a dashboard which basically primarily talks about their health for the corporates. It could be any company. We are primarily into FMCG, oil and gas, financial institutions, and automobile for now. And for the investors, we are giving this data stream so that they can evaluate companies on different parameters before going for any investment. And we helped India's biggest biogas company to raise funds recently. They have raised $3 million from Tridos using our dashboard.
Okay, and as a follow-up to that, is there an industry specificity? Because you mentioned FMCG, you mentioned logistics possibly as better for your business model, and some others not suiting up as much.
So Aaquib, to answer this, it is primarily the ESG score comes from a reference peer-to-peer benchmarking. So if I want to evaluate a company from a logistic, I need to gather a minimum data of like 100 to 150 companies to compare that. So for now, I mean, I just missed out one point, which is the most important point. We already have 1,200 plus companies data on our dashboard. So, I mean, we have like 16 categories, 308 data points. So average, if we get 200 data points, so we already have like more than 2.5 lakh data points in our dashboard. So to evaluate any company on the logistics side, we'll have to gather the minimum data of 100 companies to do that peer-to-peer benchmarking. It's a relative grading.
Yeah. So and then hence, if you are doing that with so many data points, are you looking at a monitoring agency also as a possible revenue source or a revenue diversification?
Yeah, I might have to evaluate it, like what kind of a monitoring are they providing, because like we are talking to these big fours for the for the certification of what we are doing, and like we are on a very advanced stage. Monitoring, I'll have to check and evaluate what they are coming up with, and the kind of monitoring, because this is like the data which we are picking is from the public source, from the annual report, sustainability report, CSR report, different journal reports. So there is a dedicated data extraction team. We have been able to integrate AI ML in the solution too, and it is well capable to get integrated with the existing ERM or ERP software, be it Oracle, SAP. So we have that access to their protocol. So I need to see, I mean, what kind of monitoring it is.
And any over-the-top diligence that the platform does by itself?
Yeah, diligence is primarily, that this is two steps theory. The verified data, it automatically becomes that diligence of the data, right? And then, that conversion to a meaningful data is there. Maybe the a bit of diligence is required, but we are well focused when it comes to data sourcing. So yeah, I mean, we are doing the diligence, but still need to see, I mean, in the game of, in the world of data, that security and the verified source are the two important points. So yes, we are working on that particular piece for now.
Okay, thanks, Nakul. Thanks. Those were my questions.
Thank you.
Nakul, I'm quite curious to know if you've worked out a projection on your cost and your revenue model.
Yeah, cost is, while building a product, there is definitely a cost, and then there is a running maintenance cost and operative cost, I would say, because software is something which will always remain WIP, like a work in progress. It's never completed, right? So that way it is very handsome. Because once the product is live, and the whole game is like, we have many other platforms, and the best part of the whole game is the people who have a lot of money, the investors, are the main buyers. So cash flow, in sense of ticket size, they're comfortable with, and our cost, because we are doing it in India, like we have, as I mentioned, that we are one of those first companies. So we are playing with the cost only. I mean, that is like one of our USP, that if somebody like, if you buy a data stream from Bloomberg, they're selling it for let's suppose 300K pounds for a year, where we can give the same data stream maybe for 150K pound for a year. So there the play is, because in India, yeah, I mean, we all knows that the resources and one of the good manpower we have in the country as being a service industry country. So yeah, we are playing on that, and we are doing good in that way.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah. Are we good?
Yeah, these were the questions. So team, we can possibly move on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nakul.
Thank you,
Okay.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Jeff Bezos said, I knew that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that, but I knew that the one thing I might regret if not trying. So dear starters, keep going with your amazing ideas to make an impact. It's just a small motivation. Thank you so much for the presentation. Now we have our another participant, Miss Vedika Murarka, for the project Educates. Please proceed. Miss Vedika Murarka.
Hi everyone, this is Neha here. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much everyone. My name is Neha and Vedika and I are co-founders of Educase. So we created Educase because we identified that there are three key problems in South Asia. I am from Pakistan and Vedika is from Nepal, so we're very aware of the challenges that exist within education. So the first thing we identified was that there is a lack of classroom furniture in most government and community schools. Either they don't have any furniture or the furniture is not adequate or comfortable. The second thing is that primary school students are often under-prioritized and their problems are not given as much attention as older students. And the third thing is because they come from less wealthy backgrounds, these children often don't have a proper, comfortable study space to work in at home and do their homework. For this reason, it's very common to see these kinds of school setups in South Asia, where we see students relying on either the floor itself or on their backpacks or on their laps to write for many hours a day. And although it's inspiring to see their passion for education, it's clear that this is not a very comfortable environment to be working in. There are consequences of this kind of learning. For example, studying on the ground and leaning and writing can lead to bad posture and poor eyesight. It can also affect their handwriting and their writing ability. It also lowers their productivity and their motivation and concentration for studies, and overall, therefore, hinders their educational performance. So Educase is what we've created as a solution, and it is essentially a two-in-one solution, a portable, foldable desk that also serves as a backpack to create a personal study space at school and at home. So this is what Educase looks like on the left-hand side. This is a backpack, and then there's a table, and it can transform into each and vice versa. The qualities on the right-hand side were essential for us because our end users are children. Therefore, we had to make sure that it was lightweight, that it was durable, that it had the smooth writing surface, it was weather resistant, and of course, affordable because these children are often not from very well-off families. Educase is extremely unique and we feel very proud to say that, and there are very few competitors that we can actually compare against. But compared to some of the few that are out there, we offer a superior product and it's definitely more durable than things that are already on the market. So just to show you a quick video of how Educase works, you unzip the bag, take out your notebook, fold the flaps that are inside of the bag to create the table legs by flipping it underneath, and therefore you have your smooth surface so that you can write on. Our business model is very simple. We are a B2B organization, so our customers are never the students themselves, because of course they are the ones that we want to provide this to for free. So our customers are often educational organizations such as INGOs, NGOs, and local governments who have access to these schools. We reach out to them through various different means, for example, by LinkedIn, through email, through kind of connecting, networking, and through referrals between different contacts. All they do is then tell us how many that they need. We create Educase by our local manufacturers in Nepal. The quality is then checked by the Educase team, and then we basically help the schools by distributing the backpacks to their classrooms so that they can enjoy them for free. There are plenty of benefits for organizations to adopt Educase, but one of the biggest ones is the fact that it is a very economical solution because Educase gives you a backpack and a desk for the price of one at just 800 Nepali rupees per unit. It is also very easy to distribute because it can just be folded and put into the trunk of a car and taken to the location. We can also give complementary products with our bag, so for example, stationery or light sources, and it's very relevant and multi-purpose, especially during COVID, because now we see that lots of students are gathering in small groups to study while schools are shut. So far, we've distributed Educase to 50+ students in 2 different schools. We've seen plenty of benefits, for example, the flexible usage, a significant improvement in the posture and writing, the fact that children are able to use them at home, the fact that teachers are able to arrange classrooms in whatever format they like, whether it's straight lines, whether it's in a curve.
Miss Neha, you have only 1 minute left.
Thank you. And basically what we found is also, because there are children, we wanted to make sure that the desks would be durable and undamaged, and 100% of the desks that we've given so far have remained sturdy and undamaged throughout the entire process. There's a huge scope for EDUCASE. If we try and take the assumption that essentially these government and kind of community schools need access to this kind of product, there are 3.3 million primary school students in community schools in Nepal. But if we branch out to other countries in South Asia, for example, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India, there are 1.4 million government schools that could benefit from a product like EDUCASE. So far, we really want to try and have a contribution to the Sustainable Development Goals in 3 different ways: by good health and well-being, quality education, and eventually focusing on girls' access to education. Vedika and I are the co-founders of EDUCASE. We share the responsibilities and we work long distance using our professional and educational experiences to help further EDUCASE and grow. Thank you very much for listening. And to end on a positive note, our teacher has once told us that EDUCASE has made a world of a difference. Zameen Asman ka fark dekha hai from using EDUCASE. Thank you.
Thank you, Neha. Education is something that never stops. So thank you for such an innovative idea for the education sector. Now I would like to request the jury members for the questions round, please.
Hi, Neha, such a wonderful concept. I'm curious to know, have you reached out to, the colleges? Have you collected data on the number of schools? How much can you provide them? What is the capacity that you can provide?
Hi, Aarati. Thank you for your question. So, wait, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you say colleges, I just wanted to clear out the question first. So colleges, do you mean like to provide EDUCASE or like to give EDUCASE to colleges itself?
Sorry, schools and colleges.
Okay. So what we've currently where we're at is we had piloted EDUCASE, and what we're doing right now is reaching out to several schools. And how we reach out to these schools are through organizations that directly work with the schools, because of course a lot of schools are remote and they might not have the exact network or communication to be able to reach to them easily. So how we reach to schools is through organizations. So for example, Plan International, that's one of the biggest education intervention organizations in Nepal. So what we do with them is we select a region, and they are aware of the number of schools in that region with their collaboration with the local authorities and the local municipality. And they give us a number of schools, especially of which do not have any furniture, because they have the ground data of the schools that do have furniture and that do not have furniture. And that's how we are able to get our numbers of the number of schools that don't have any furniture and can project our demand accordingly and manufacture based on their needs.
Thank you, Vedika.
Hi, Vedika. This is Aaquib. Great presentation, great product. Just needed to understand where are we with the actual commercialization of it with regards to orders, and what is our market or go-to-market strategy with regards to countries like India, wherein the policies kind of change from state to state. So what are the various channel partnership modes that we are choosing to actually reach out to the last mile learner with this particular product?
Thanks, Aaquib, for the question. So for commercialization purposes, currently we haven't actually sold to organizations. We were at the pilot study stage when the pandemic hit, and I think the first step would be to start when schools are actually open, and that's how adaptability increases, because it's hard to gather children in one location and give them the product at once. And the reason why we did not start giving it during COVID was because we wanted to ensure that in a school, every child had it and didn't want to leave anyone behind. And with more scattered students living in different areas and not being able to meet in one location at once, it wasn't possible to ensure that every student in a classroom had it. Whereas giving it right now during COVID would sort of have an issue where, some students did get it and some students did not get it. So currently we are still at the pilot study stage, but now that Nepal is moving towards more, they're trying to look for different ways of accessing schools and continuing education. So one of the ways that came up was creating what we call it here would be like toll-wise classes. So what they do is on a weekly basis, they divide different areas where students live in, and a teacher goes one by one, and a group of students of 6 or 7 meet together and study in a socially distanced manner. So we've contacted such organizations who are promoting these kind of learning environments, and we're slowly creating partnerships where they can provide education through these methods. And talking about India and expanding to other countries, one of the key ways we've seen is to collaborate with organizations that work again with schools on the ground, because directly going to schools, every school of course with state-wise laws might have different needs and might have to look into different options. But when we work with bigger organizations, they have a model for different states according to what the laws are in every state. So for example, if I had to name one organization in India, would be Pratham Education, which is a very big organization working in trying to improve the education availability to the rural areas. And how they would, if we had to, for example, partner with an organization like that, what we would do is choose one area first, create a model, and once it's successful in that particular model, we would show that as an example to the next state, and based on their regulations, again, form a model in that school or that region. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, Vedika. Just one follow-up to that. Do we have a price point to the product as of now, both on bulk as well as on per unit? And if there is a price point, how much of a profit margin are we building into the production? Essentially, to say what's the cost of actually producing one unit?
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So the cost of buying just one, which we usually do not promote or encourage too much, because again, like one wouldn't suffice a classroom. So one would be 1,000 Nepali rupees. So that's approximately 620 INR. So, and buying in bulk over 100 units would be 800 rupees Nepali. So that's around approximately 500 INR if I had to convert it. So this is our basic price point. And just before, like while we were doing our pilot study, our cost to manufacture it was around 600 rupees. But fortunately, while working with different manufacturers over here and contacting different suppliers, we've managed to bring our cost a little down. And through this, we can now also help ship to some of the more remote areas in Nepal, because a lot of remote schools don't have access to easy networks so that they can get the products very easily. So through the reduced price point in our cost of production, we also include shipping to some of the more remote areas that don't have easy access.
Thank you, Vedika. Thank you for your answers. These were my questions. So we are done, most probably, so we could possibly move on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Now, without doing a further delay, I would like to request Ms. Achal Sresht for Project Green Coin. Please. Ms. Achal Sresht.
Hello everyone, I'm Achal Shrestha from Green Queens. So Mr. Suyam Vaidya will be presenting for Green Queens. Are you there? Yes, he's there. Suyam Lai, are you there?
Mr. Suyam, you can start. We're unable to hear you.
Mr. Swim, are you having any
Hussain.
problem?
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yes. Is this Mr. Swayam?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Okay. So imagine leading a healthier lifestyle and imagine reducing your carbon footprint in the process. To top it all, imagine being paid for doing all this. What if I told you our new app Walkman just exactly this? So namaste everyone, greetings from the top of the world. I'm Swam by representing Green Points, where our mission is to develop at least 10 climate change mitigating products before 2025. Our first product is Green Coin, Walkman by Green Coins, where users can just
The background is very disturbing.
sorry. Hello? There's a lot of background. So our first product is Green Coins, where users can earn Green Coins just by walking, and but it's not limited to just walking. Users can earn Green Coins by performing entire eco-friendly activities like walking, cycling, rainwater harvesting, ride sharing, like tree plantation, and using electric vehicles through our green partners who are environment-friendly enterprises. So how can users spend Green Coins is in our Green Commerce platform where Green Coins is accepted for either discounts or free giveaways. And then, so what we do is Walkman, we feature startup products and in our e-commerce, and they give us discounts, and we sell it for in exchange of Green Coins, which can be earned by low carbon traveling. So we have already launched our beta product in 2019 February, and we have already accumulated more than 4,000 users who have covered more than 200,000 kilometers using our app. So we initially tested our like in our customer discovery process. We interviewed 200 app users where our key assumptions where users normally choose environment-friendly activities, are aware of work-life balance, are more attracted towards discounts. But what we found out that users don't usually choose environment-friendly activities because they are more conscious about price, and rest were found to be true. So our second product is HollywoodBazaar.com, which basically classified second-hand smart second-hand store. At the same time, we also act as a middle man in selling refurbished item, and Green Coins is accepted in HollywoodBazaar. So our value proposition is that we help startup businesses generate sales and help in their brand exposure. And our target market in the local is 1.5 million. So our retail market are essentially the employees between 20 to 40 age, more conscious about health and their work-life balance, whose pay scale is less than $1,000 and who are residing in Communitere. So each Green Coins is equivalent of reducing 8.1 gram of CO2 based on the calculation of 125cc vehicles. So assuming that our app users won't be using any vehicles. So these are some of our publications so far, and these are our revenue model. So Green Coins help reduce 262 tons of CO2 over the years, over the period of 5 years, whereas our business as usual do not. So our future plan is to.
Mr. Swam.
Hello. Yes.
You have only 1 minute left.
Okay. So we want other e-commerces to accept Green Coins so that we can boost their sales as well. And we want to register our transform this currency into a cryptocurrency in the long run. And so these are our founding team members where our dream is to launch at least 10 innovative climate change mitigating products by 2025 to achieve $10 million valuation by 2025 and to generate at least 10 billion Green Coins, equivalent of reducing 8 million pieces of CO2 emissions. So thank you so much. And at the end, what I like to say is that the widespread adoption of environment-friendly and social distant alternative to the overcrowded means of public transportation for short distance, especially because particularly in the aftermath of the pandemic. The virus can adapt, but can we? We always talk about adopting a healthier lifestyle and reducing our carbon footprint, but it's high time we ask ourselves the question: are we ready to walk the talk? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Swam. Now I would like to request jury members for the questions round. So we may proceed with questions.
Hi, Swim. This looks like a very interesting concept.
Thank you so
My
much.
question is, how do you plan to increase your user base? And what is the cost of customer acquisition cost?
Okay, so currently we have already partnered with 200 plus businesses, and so our marketing strategy initially is to partner with environment friendly businesses like rainwater harvesting companies, recycling companies, and give green coins to their customers. Like for example, electric vehicle companies can give away green coins to their customers based on users. So then we'll have common customer base so that once their customers start getting green coins, the only way to spend green coins will be in our green commerce platform. So that's first step. And cost of talking about Coca, uh, we uh, uh, we have not currently worked on the customer acquisition cost right now, so we need to figure it out. Hello?
Suyam, I have another question for you. So I'm quite curious to know, like what you mentioned is it's mainly for a more healthier life. So if for a person who's just walking, would they also get coins, or is it just when you do not use your car, you do not use your vehicle? How does this go?
So actually, as soon
How do you
as
distinguish? Yeah.
okay, so we have this criteria, speed criteria of 20 kilometers per hour. So we measure velocity of any user using the GPS, which gives us the speed value. And then and we assume that no people can walk with a speed more than 20 kilometers per hour. So as soon as their speed limit crosses this threshold velocity, their data will be rejected. So I hope that answers your question. And not just so Walkman is an application where users can earn green coins just by walking, but in the long run, users can also earn green coins by like using our environment-friendly green partners services like rainwater harvesting, recycling, and electric vehicles, and so on. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Suyam. Very interesting.
Thank you.
Swam, thank you for a noise-filled but a very interactive presentation. Yeah, a lot of sense in the model that you're trying to kind of give us a heads up with. When you're talking about these green coins and their conversions, I believe you'll have to possibly get a lot of commerce players in on your platform. So how what's the plan of actually acquiring them, and is there a channel partnership program that you're looking at with those commerce players? Because the conversion is essentially the incentive, and the better and the faster that the conversion works, and the more effective that it becomes, it is kind of going to become more and more viral, because there are similar such platforms across Southeast Asia. There are multiple platforms who have tried this, and the biggest challenge for them has been onboarding enough number of effective brands to actually incentivize it as a social movement. So what's the plan for that? What is the incentive cycle for brands to actually be onboarded on your platform?
Okay, so first thing is that we are listing each like every brand who partner with us into, like, we are giving them certificate of becoming a green company, because their incentives like discounts and free giveaway counts for every green coins, and the more green coins any company will accumulate, the more greener they become. And we have actually a plan to like award the greenest company of the year every year. So that's one of the incentives, because there's a growing public demand of climate friendly and eco-friendly products and services. and this is a new need gap that has.
In your introduction, Swam, are you still there? Hello? Swam, am I audible?
You are audible, but
There's some technical issue with Suyam's.
Yeah. So we could park the questions for now, and we could possibly take it afterwards. So we could possibly move on. Just yeah.
thank you so much. Now I would like to proceed by calling upon the next contestant for today, Mr. Dhaval Gupta for the project Leher. Please proceed with your presentation. Project Leher.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, Rahul, start.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Rahul.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I, Raghav Goyal, and my co-founder, Dhaval Gupta, are going to present our solution to the world's most littered cigarette butts. Project Leher is a revolution in the waste management sector, which deals with the menace of cigarette butts through collection, processing, and recycling. We have identified and conceptualized 7 collection avenues, developed cleansing solutions and product lines, and in a pilot run, collected and recycled more than 330,000 cigarette butts. Emphasizing on the problem statement, each year 6.5 trillion cigarette butts are flicked irresponsibly, making it the world's largest, most littered waste. Each butt can also potentially pollute 500 liters of water and has more than 4,000 toxic substances in it. The filter is made out of microplastic called cellulose acetate, making it another dangerous microplastic polluter. Our solution around this revolves under 3 simple processes of collection, processing, and recycling. Post-consumer waste is collected from smoking rooms of IT parks, butt ballots installed at hotspots like cafes and restaurants, etc., butt wallets, which are directly distributed to the consumer, and waste is also procured directly from waste picker organizations. The post-industrial waste, which is the filters which do not meet the production standard, are collected and procured directly from the filter manufacturers. Once the waste is collected, it is then stored in a warehouse in Azadpur, New Delhi, where we employ a group of underprivileged women who are involved with the segregation of this waste into 3 components of the polymer, tobacco, and the paper. The toxic polymer then goes to a laboratory partner where they use our chemical solvent to render it 100% toxic free. The cleansed butt, which are left with us in the form of cellulose acetate polymer, are used to make 2 product lines. We fill it in polymer-based products to make cushions, pillows, etc. And since the polymer is essentially plastic, after extruding and compounding, it is used to make first of its kind 100% recyclable furniture. Yes, you heard it right, furniture made out of cigarette butts. The paper waste is then sold to recyclers, and tobacco is used to make fertilizers, thus making Leher a zero waste model.
Moving on to the financial bit of Leher, considering it is aimed at creating a new circular economy in the waste management sector, the fixed capital requirements are not much. However, comparing the fixed capital requirements with the working capital requirements in this dynamic environment, the major costs involved, such as collections, segregations, cleansing, and product manufacturing, make the working capital requirements definitely more significant as compared to the fixed capital requirements. Coming to comparing our projected revenues with the costs.
Mr. Raghav, you have only 1 minute left.
Sure. In standalone, our revenue streams coming from the 2 product lines as aforementioned and the paper and tobacco selling, as of now, we project it to sufficiently cover the working capital cost at scale. However, we also aim to set up self-sustainable supply models by having these ballot bin rental models in IT parks and selling of these butt wallets to the direct customers themselves. Coming on to the beneficiaries we aim to impact through Project Leher. The primary beneficiaries from this venture are the refugee community of rack pickers and the women involved in segregation. Secondary beneficiaries are the HoReCa sector and our collaborations and the thousands of rack pickers we'll be impacting through our collaborations pan-India. At the tertiary level, it is the millions of smokers as well as the millions of life forms, both on land as well as in the oceans, whom we'll impact through reduced landfill and water pollution. Coming on to the impact, in our pilot run alone, we were able to collect over 330,000 cigarette butts and created a triple bottom line impact of 16,50,000 liters of ocean water, which was conserved. 23 women who were impacted and employed, and their incomes rose by 66% just in the pilot run, as well as more than 43,000 people who were sensitized through our campaigns, both online and offline. However, this is just the beginning for us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to request jury members to have questions.
Hi, Dhaval and Raghav. It's a very good concept. I would like to know, like, what are the products that you've actually worked on, and how much time does it take from your collection to making a product?
All right, ma'am. So ma'am, talking about the product lines, so ma'am, initially, the products that you see over here, the cushion is a very simple concept. So if you've seen a cigarette butt, it's a very fibrous and a polymer kind of substance you'll see, and at a look you may think that it's actually cotton, but it's cellulose acetate polymer, which is plastic. So in its physical form, it resembles cotton a lot. So once the toxic butts have been cleansed, this cotton-like fiber can be stuffed into cushions and cushions, pillows, etc., and can be made into these kind of products, which is very easy. But the actual challenge that was for us was to make it into a product which has a longer shelf life, like the furniture. Taking inspiration from another organization, research-based organization in US, which has already cracked this. We also went on to product development for more than 8 months and successfully came up with this furniture, which uses the butts. So essentially the plastic out of this is extracted using a process called compounding and extrusion, and then it's made into the furniture. Addressing your another question, which talks about how much time from collection to processing it takes. So ma'am, with collection, as you can see, we have 5 avenues, out of which 2 we have currently collected from, 2 are work in progress, and 1, since during the COVID times there are not like events etc. happening or cleanup drives happening, it's currently on hold. So ma'am, with collection from IT, so the collection frequency varies from collection avenue to collection avenue. With IT park like DLF and Cyber Hub, we've installed 1,000 liter dustbins in the parks. So the collection varies from like once or like 2 times once in a month, like every 15 days the collection happens and is stored in a warehouse. While from waste picker organizations, we procure the waste in large quantities on a less frequent basis. Like let's say once in 2 months, they collect it in their own facilities, and 2 months they ship it to us to reduce the transportation costs. While from the butt bins, which we've installed at a fewer places right now, we are collecting on a more frequent basis since they are smaller in size and get filled quite frequently. So once this waste reaches to the warehouse, these women are involved continuously on the segregation part, but the waste is transported to the factory, which converts it into furniture once in 15 days only to reduce the logistical costs, and so that the conversion can happen on a scale once we have a large quantity of waste with us.
Furthermore, just to add to, as Raghav explained in lucid detail, so with regards to the inventory turnover, if I may use that word, it's basically, as of now, the prototypes have been successfully converted in batch sizes as well. Now we're in the process of setting up a larger scale cleansing setup, which will further reduce the time period involved in from end to end basically. And we project collecting as well as processing and recycling 250 kgs of cigarette butts every month with the setup we're right now in the pipeline.
Thank you, Dhaval.
Hi, Dhaval. Hi, Raghav. This is Aaquib. Excellent idea, and this is a space that a lot of sustainability startups are actually putting in efforts for. I wanted to first understand, is Leher more a network aggregation of all the players that are required in the process, or are you focusing on one of the steps in the process yourselves and the rest of it is essentially an aggregation?
No, sir. So I would say it's not one out of the other, but it's a mix of two. So
Okay.
With collection mechanisms, especially, we realize that there are a lot of organizations which are interested in this step. And this is, in fact, an emerging industry. And there has been a National Green Tribunal release also that cigarette butt waste is now a toxic waste. So there are emerging organizations which want to work in this sector. So with collection, we realize that since there are already a lot of people who are directly working with the waste pickers, for us to identify a community of waste picker and manage them on a day-to-day basis can be challenging. So we identified organizations who already have a community of waste pickers who are working in waste such as PET, plastic or other kind of waste, and we tell them to collect cigarette butt waste for us as well. And we ourselves intervene in some sustainable collection models where we do not need day-to-day intervention like setting up dustbins, etc. Because once they are done, the waste is automatically generated and we do not need to like look after it on a day-to-day basis. So there, the power of collaboration and synergic interventions comes in. While the segregation process comes directly under us, while the cleansing process was another tough tangent to crack, since not no one was earlier detoxifying this butt, and like the organization I was telling, in the research organization in US, it was their protected IP. So we had to actually ourselves go into venturing into testing out multiple chemicals, etc., to figure out this cleansing. And again, the processing, though it's done since we do not have a large scale plastic recycling unit in our names, so we are doing it in collaboration with a recycling partner, but the concept remains ours.
Okay, so when you talk about the detoxification being done by you and Green Labs, as you have written as well as explained, is the IP with you or is it shared between you and Green Labs, the detoxification? And have you filed it already? Because that is of paramount importance when we are working with cellulose acetate. Because it's extremely toxic and you're putting it back into cushions. It should not have health implications. So do we have a standard to that, and do we have an IP against that?
Yes,
Yes,
sir. So talking about that, this chemical was developed in collaboration with Latimer School from London, because we are ourselves commerce students, and we took help from HOD of chemistry over there, and this was done. Then the chemical formula was transferred to us, and the IP remains ours. It's completely protected. And we are like underway filing a patent for the same, for both the things, for the conversion of the cellulose acetate into furniture, as well as for detoxifying the butts. So with Green Labs, yes, sir, these are just our recycling partners. While they did not help us with developing the chemical, we gave them a pack of like what the chemical should be and that they're underdoing. And we've tested the cleansed butt as well multiple times, and we found the results to be 100% toxic free.
Okay, and are we looking for funds for scaling this up?
Correct, sir.
Sure.
Right,
we can take that offline because that's not part of the agenda. Do tell me more about the team also, because that's one slide that has kind of been missed, possibly. So we'll for sure take this offline. Pleasure having heard your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Team, can we move on? Because we're done.
Thank you so much for the presentation. With this, so we are done with our pitching session. We are really amazed with such an amazing, innovative ideas that can really put an impact in the society, as well as give a lot to the biosystem. We thank all of the participants and the jury members for having the patience throughout the pitching session and having the energy which can really encourage other youth as well. Saying this, I would like to congratulate and wishing you all the best. I would like to hand over the floor to Ms. Anupam Pandey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kavita, for the moderation part. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the participants for presenting such extraordinary pitches. Kudos to you people. The pitches were definitely exceptional. And yes, it's definitely a true saying that if you're into entrepreneurship, you should know how to help, how to fix, and how to serve. So moving further, I'm grateful to our jury members, Mr. Aaquib Hussain and Ms. Aarati Joshi, for their exceptional judgments and valuable comments. And yes, any closing thoughts from your side would be an add to this event. So I would request Ms. Aarati Joshi if she can share any closing thoughts with us.
Thank you so much, Anupam. It was an amazing afternoon with a lot of new ideas coming up. I would leave with 3 points. Like our guest speaker said, there is a lot of opportunities coming up. My second point would be to stay focused. And the third point is be open to changes if you get stuck. Thank you.
Thank you for such kind words, ma'am. Moving on to the next jury, Mr. Aaquib, please, we would love to hear your a closing thought from your side as well.
So Anupam and Team Misfits, one, thank you for inviting me for this, because this has been one of the very diverse set of ideas that I've heard in the recent past. They are very well aligned to what they want to achieve. They're very targeted. And that's one thing that I'll implore them to continue on. The focus is fantastic from each one of the teams. Virasat, Asba, Bionic Hope, each one of those teams were mind-blowing in their element of focus that they have been able to develop. And that's my message for them. Keep building choices for people. Keep building the impact versions that they have envisioned already. Ideas like Educase, Greencoin, Leher, they kind of inspire us and at the same time want us to make our efforts in making their journey as easy as possible. So thanks again to Team Misfit. Thanks to the participants. You're all winners already. I don't know what the criteria for winning and losing is here, but for me, each one of your ideas deserve a round of applause from everybody who has been able to aggregate you together here, and the fact that you have been able to live through your developments all this while. I wish you all the best for all your endeavors with your enterprises. And I'm there offline as well as with Team Misfits to facilitate any kind of effect and impact whichever end you need it. So I've shared it with them also that I'd love to work with a few teams already and do whatever little I can facilitate with. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Aaquib, for the encouraging words. Moving ahead. Yeah, moving ahead, I and my team, I on behalf of my team are again thankful for the support of our regional partners and for the support of our global partners. This wouldn't have been possible without you guys. So kudos to you too, and thank you so much. And yes, we are again thankful to our title partner Telugu for immense support and Startup India to recognize our work. The winners will be declared within the next 3 days. To all the participants, do keep a check on our social media pages for regular updates, and do keep a check on the WhatsApp groups too. Thanks a lot to all the attendees to grace the event. Yes, I hope you all enjoyed it. And there's one more upcoming event on the coming Sunday. I would appreciate if you can also join that and grace that event and watch more exceptional pitches. Watch and listen to more exceptional pitches. So thanks. Yeah, and that's all from Team Misfits. Hope you all enjoyed it. And yes, thank you. We can end it now.